Hi there, welcome to Mixroom.one, the tutorial series. I've been asked a lot by people if I wanted to make tutorials about vintage gear, like the stuff I have here, but also about mixing and maybe even arranging and producing records. So, what's my story? I've been in the music business since the 1980s. I began with electronic music in 1987. And I went through the period of acid house and later on trance and even some hardcore. But nowadays I'm a recording engineer, a mix engineer for live music and a lot for music that is recorded elsewhere and mixed here. That's why I call this Mixroom.one. I only mix here and I do some production. So, what do I want to do with all these tutorials that I'm planning? Well, there is a lot of gear here and there is a lot of stories about gear that have been told incompletely or badly. Some are great, some are really great, but I think there is a lot to say about when do you want to use vintage gear in a music production or in a music mix. Why do you want to mix analog, like on this console? Why would you do that? What's the reason? Surely it's not the cost aspect of the stuff that I treasure here. It has a reason, and it's a good reason, and I can explain the reason. So I will do that in the upcoming series of tutorials, gear reviews, and all stuff that comes to mind when producing records and producing music. Well, how do I want to do that? I want to do this on a low-cost basis. So I've got a camera there, which is an iPhone. An iPhone 4, which can record in 1080p. And that's an iPad, which also can record in 1080p. I found that setting them up is pretty difficult, but when it works great, and the picture quality is great also. So, that's also an iPhone 4, and there is another iPhone 4 on the way, so I can have one in my hand. So if I want to show something on the gear or on the console, I can pinpoint it with a portable camera. So that's what I'm about to do. The first in the series will probably be a nice tutorial about this little treasure that I found. This is an Alesis Wedge. It's a reverb, which is not expensive, and it has some great aspects on it, quality-wise, and in the way it blends into a mix, and why you would want to use it. Just like the other gear that I have here, AMS reverbs, a Lexicon 224, Publison, Space Station, Quantec. Everything that I have here, I can make a tutorial about, and maybe you can ask me to make one about a certain piece of gear that you want to be reviewed. And also told a story about why one would want to use such a device. So, okay, there you are. I also have a lot of synthesizers, samplers, drum machines, anything you can think about in producing music, and there are a lot of good stories, a lot of treasures to be told about these great pieces of equipment. So I think I'll leave it with that. So I'll say bye-bye for now. This is the end of the introduction of the new series of tutorials about vintage gear, music, mixing, recording, producing, songwriting, arranging, anything you can ask questions about. Please do, and send me a message, and I will probably make a great video about it. So, that's it for now. Bye-bye, and I'll see you later.